Welcome to the very first episode of Brainy Recovery, a resource for understanding how our mind, body, and spirit and emotions each play a role and work together for long-term and sustained recovery. Have you ever thought about what recovery actually means? I'm Dr. Susie Wiet, a psychiatrist, addiction doc, and a traumatologist who wants recovery for everyone. Before we get started, know that even though I am a psychiatrist, listening to and learning from this video does not mean that I'm your doctor or that this video offers a substitution for treatment that you may need. So let's get into the topic of recovery. Recovery is often associated with addiction, but recovery is simply a process of change that improves or restores our health and wellness, which also helps us to reach more of our unique potential. This means that we are all in recovery from one thing or another, or are in one stage or another of recovery, including maintenance of our health and wellness and expanding our potential. Each one of us is or has been broken in one way or another at one point or another in our life, so we are all in recovery. Now that may sound like a bold statement to you, but after 20 some years of working with people who have mental health and addiction challenges, I have realized that recovery does not just apply to traditional addictions such as alcohol or drugs. For instance, someone may need to recover from an eating disorder or gambling or greed, hurtful relationships, childhood traumas, mood instability, or toxic anger, or perhaps something else. It is that whatever we don't want to admit to or look at that keeps us broken and actually in chains of fear. And then we end up living our life from a place of fear or unconscious states. So when we take a moment to examine our individual brokenness, we are pointing ourselves toward the possibility of recovery, which means becoming a healthier self with greater potential to discover and change and apply, most importantly, our strengths. And that first step is simply awareness, which starts putting some cracks into the stronghold of fear, meaning that we must admit to ourselves that something ain't right in the land of my own Oz. And that stuff that may not be right could be in our external world, such as circumstances, relationships, or physical health, or it can be our internal world, which is more often the case that drives our external world circumstances, but that internal world of our unconscious thoughts and our unconscious feelings that drive behaviors at an unconscious level and keep ourselves numb and unaware of our circumstances or to the constant engagement in maintaining those unwanted circumstances. So we function unconsciously or subconsciously and then wonder, why are we rinsing and repeating our patterns of our life that are ineffective and are not bringing us to a place of greater health, wellness, and living authentically? Well, we can't expect anything that will ever change in our lives, or that until we are willing to have that honest conversation with ourselves that something ain't right or isn't working well, or that there is a bigger problem going on that we haven't wanted to take a look at. Now, we can never change our circumstances until we start with that fundamental awareness. So awareness is 100% always the first step of recovery. Before we ever change a single thing, we have to become aware. And remember that recovery is all about bringing ourselves towards more health and towards more wellness and towards more authenticity. Once we make ourselves aware that something isn't okay, we can do 3 easy observations again before we change anything. So let's admit it, the mere thought of change or the word recovery can be something that sounds scary or worrisome, or sometimes may even feel threatening in one way or another to us. So if there's something that you know in your heart of hearts that is not right, even if you don't know why, let's make it an easy progression here and step into recovery from that. And start with those 3 easy steps over the next few days or weeks. So the 3 steps are: 1, notice. Notice how frequently that thing or behavior or desire is happening. Number 2, be honest. Be honest about how much that thing or behavior or desire is actually affecting you. And number 3, ask. Ask yourself if you are okay or not okay with that thing or behavior or desire continuing as your own status quo. So think NBA for change. Notice, be honest, and ask yourself. So if you're not okay with that thing or behavior or desire continuing, please, please, please give yourself the gift of making a choice, a conscious choice, meaning that commitment to yourself to choose differently, to choose positively towards your health. It's almost a 100% guarantee that you will never regret getting healthier, but you will likely regret staying unhealthy or remaining numb or remaining in an unhealthy situation, either now or at some point in the near future. Now, a wise mentor once told me, Susie, the longer you wait, the longer you wait. And that simple statement woke me up to look at the things that I needed to change in my life in order to get to that healthier place. So I wonder, is there a thing or behavior or desire in your external or your internal world that is begging you for more awareness, for you to do something healthier, and that can benefit from a bit more wellness? So if so, I encourage you to be honest with yourself, raise that to your conscious awareness, and start your own process of change to improve your health and your wellness for your greater potential. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found meaning in this Brainy Recovery episode, a resource for understanding how our mind, body, emotions, and spirit each play a role and work together for long-term sustained recovery. Please like, share, and subscribe to receive notifications of my latest episodes. Blessings to you.